Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Hope you all are having a blessed day. It's Renee from Lovely Lavender Wishes, and we are getting into Proverbs in our journey through the Bible, Bible journaling. So today we are going to be focusing on chapter 11, verse 2. It says, when arrogance comes, disgrace follows, but with humility comes wisdom. And throughout all of Proverbs, it's always contrasting the foolish person with the wise person, the righteous person with the wicked person. Along with Proverbs 11, verse 2, you can also look at Proverbs, 16, verses 18, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. It says, pride comes before destruction and an arrogant spirit before a fall. So it's talking all about pride, being prideful, arrogance, things like that. There was another verse that I wanted to journal on this page, so I found another one that talks about pride, and that's 11 verse 2, about when arrogance comes, disgrace follows. Same thing, before pride comes a fall, we all say. Before pride comes destruction. Well, it's the same thing. Arrogance comes, disgrace follows. So we're going to be talking about pride today, or we're doing a page on pride. But before we start that, I wanted to show you a couple other pages that I did in Proverbs that I do not have a process video on, but I wanted to show you just quickly so you can see, and maybe you can do a page like this on your own if you want. So like I said, the whole premise of Proverbs is really comparing, contrasting the foolish person with the wise person. And so here I just downloaded a couple images of, jesters and, little sad clowns and things like that on sticker paper. And I just wrote, don't be a fool. So the only thing I did on this page really was make little paint splatters, big and little ones, purple, of course, because purple is my favorite color, y'all, lavender. And then just put the stickers on. Super easy. So just did that page. So again, I did, nothing to really show. It's just, do a little paint and some sticking on, some stickers. This one was a napkin. So this is an owl napkin. These were stickers. So just decoupaged a napkin on with some stickers. It says wisdom and understanding. And then some black ink splatters on that page. Okay. Then this was a his palette image. And then these, I can't remember where I got these from. It was another Bible journaling kit or, download that you can download that I just printed on sticker paper. But if you don't have that, no problem. You can just, download cameras. It was all about focusing on Jesus. It says, let your eyes look forward, fix your gaze straight ahead, carefully consider the path for your feet, and all your ways will be established. Don't turn to the right or left. Keep your feet away from evil. This is Proverbs 4 verses 25 through 27. So I just was focusing on Jesus. So it's all about cameras. So I just did like a camera page. And then this was at the beginning of the year. So I put a fresh start. Lord, help me to stay focused on you this year, every moment of every day. So I did like a little flip out here. So just cameras and some flowers. And again, it's just cut and paste glue stickers. And then this one y'all saw me do. If you followed me in Psalms, this we were going to do in Psalms, but I had another picture on that page, or I was going to journal another picture on that page. So I did this one in Proverbs. And this is, Proverbs 27, verse 19. As water reflects the face, so the heart reflects the person. And this is all about reflecting God. We did we used stencil paste or modeling paste on this and watercolors and such. You can watch the video on that. I do have a process video for this one. And then my last one that I wanted to show you real quick was this page. And this, again, was just really cutting and pasting. I had some, I just downloaded some, like blueprint paper. I made a little tag out of the blueprint paper and attached it to a paper clip. Had some washi tape here, ruler washi tape. So essentially, this one was about disciplining your children. It says, if you stop listening to correction, my son, you will stray away from the words of knowledge. Discipline your son while there is hope. Don't set your heart on being the cause of his death. Listen to counsel. So all this was about disciplining. So chapters 19 and 20 had some about disciplining. And I had this quote that says, raising children is like drafting a blueprint. You have to know where to draw the lines. And I saw that quote and I just loved it. So I knew I had to do a page on that. So again, just use washi tape, ruler washi tape. I cut out some pictures from a children's book I had. And just in the background, I just used grid paper and just tore out some blueprint paper. And then these images I just drew in with pencil and then outlined with black ink. So yeah, just cut and paste again, tear some paper out, cut and paste, cut out pictures, do some washi tape, draw some images in, and then make your own little tag here with a paper clip. So that's what I did on that page. So, okay, so let's go back to Proverbs 11, verse 2. Let me grab my chair and let's flip this over so we're focused on this. Boy, my Bible is getting so poofy already. We're only halfway through. Okay, we'll see how it goes, you know, when we get further and further along. Okay, so since this is talking about pride and arrogance and all that, I looked through all my napkins, y'all, and I had a bunch of these little peacock napkins. And, you know, peacocks, you know, kind of strut their stuff. And actually, I found one that actually said, strut your stuff. So I'm going to be using like a combo of these two napkins. So y'all know when you're doing napkins, take off the top ply, you know, take off all the different plies of the napkin, just keep the top ply. This you can use, if you've seen what I, you know, mentioned on some of my other videos, you can use this, you can stamp on these, you can make your own napkins out of these, you can run these through your printer. If you attach it to a paper, you know, attach it to a paper, you can run it through your printer, make your own images on the napkins. You can use stamps, stamp your own images here. You can use these for so many different things. So I usually keep these. You can even just use them for, you know, like paper towels or whatever, you know, I use everything. I don't throw much away. Okay, so let me move this real quick. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get the image out of what I want. And usually I'll take a brush with some water. So let me see, I have a little tray here with just some water and some gesso in it. I did prep my page with gesso because I am going to be doing some stamping. So I take my water and I just kind of outline where I want to cut my napkin. It just kind of helps with making sure that it's gonna tear where I want it to tear. See, it just makes it so much easier. And there, I've got my image. So let's move this. I don't need this anymore. I'll use these for something else. I love that you get 4 panels because then you can always use it for something else. Okay, so let's grab our Bible again. Move that so I don't spill it. So this is approximately where this is going to go. Okay, but before I do that, I want to stamp some background here. And I had this stamp, which kind of, to me, kind of looks like, it's not feathers, but it kind of looks like the swirly feathers of, you know, the peacock going off, because the napkin kind of abruptly ends here. And I was thinking I could tear more of the napkin and add more, but I wanted to add some stamping. So what I'm gonna do is stamp, so I know the napkin ends like kind of right where the words end. So I'm gonna move this to the side. I'm gonna use some stamping. So let me move this over here and move these. So I have these colors to kind of match the napkins. So these are, I think I got these from Michael's, little sets. I've got a blue, a green, and then kind of like a bluish green. So I'm gonna use these 3 colors. And then I also have this golden glitz that I'm gonna use a little bit later to add a little bit sparkle to it. So I'm gonna grab my makeup brush. I like this one for stencils. I've mentioned that before. And I am just gonna go in with these different colors. And let me put some paper here. Let's see, let's do the blue first, and then I'll switch into blue, green, and then the green. So I have on my covers here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of blue, and I'm gonna just kind of go in lightly first. You can always make it darker. I always say that. Just gonna go in and do these stencils, kind of have these feathers kind of like poofing out. And then since they're in the same color, I don't know, color family, I'm just rubbing off my brush, and now I'm gonna go in and kind of combine some of the other colors. So I have, you know, a little bit of a combo here. Let's see. I want a little bit more darker there. Okay, so there's that one. And I actually want this to go out a little bit farther. So let me see. Extend this out a little bit more so it doesn't look like it abruptly ends. Trying to match this up. There. Okay, and then I'm gonna have another one coming out, right? Because this whole thing, yeah, we need to have another one coming out down here. Do we want it to kind of flip this way? No, all of them are going that way. Okay, I'm just talking myself through this. Gotta talk myself through this. Okay, make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay. Let's go back in here. Let's get some green. Kind of running out of this green. I need to get a ring inker if that'll work for this. Otherwise I gotta get some more colors. Oh, that's cute. Okay. And yeah, I want it just kind of faded so it looks like they're still kind of going. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So done with that. Super easy. You can get just any kind of swirly stencil that you have. Okay, so then the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to glue down our, let me move all this, get it out of the way, and wipe this off real quick. Spray it a little and wipe it off. So I don't make a mess, which I'm going to do anyways, because y'all know I make messes. Okay, so you've all seen me decoupage napkins before. So let me grab, I just have a little bit of gesso and some water. I water down my gesso. I'm sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. So here's my water, here's my gesso. So the first thing I do, just water down my gesso just a tad, not a lot, just a little bit. I start on one end, so I'm gonna start on this end. Make sure I got my plastic there. And I just do like a thin coat, and then I place my napkin where I want it. And press it down. And then I flip my napkin over and then just keep adding more. And then smooth it out and press it out. That way you don't get like a lot of crinkles, but you're always gonna get crinkles with napkins, but that's, I think, the beauty of napkins is you're gonna get those little crinkles and ridges and stuff, but I love that about napkins. You get a texture, which I really like. Now when you get to the ink, be careful, because if you used water-based ink, it's going to react with the water you have on your brush and it might smear. So just kind of be a little bit cognizant of that. Be careful. So you can see my ink's starting to smear a little, but this doesn't matter because this will be under the napkin. So I'm trying to make sure I don't go beyond. Oop, my napkin ripped there. So if your napkin rips, just piece it back together, no biggie. There you go. But yeah, I'm trying to be cognizant of where my end is going to be so I don't smear the ink where my napkin won't be, if that makes sense. Trying to get this all even as best as possible. Okay. Ah! Really ripped that one. That's okay. Stick it all back together. I'm gonna have a little hole there. No biggie. Boy, this napkin's really temperamental today. Okay. Okay. And then I'm just gonna rinse this off in my water here because it does have some ink on it. So I'm just gonna rinse that off. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do, because I want my napkin to be translucent or a little bit more translucent, so I go in and now I'm gonna go over the top of my napkin. This kind of helps seal it in. It also gets rid of a lot of those little ridges and such that you might have if you have some. It also helps make your napkin more translucent. I mean, it doesn't really matter because there's nothing behind the napkin here except for white. But if you had words behind it or an image behind it, it would make it where you can see more of the image. Okay, I'm gonna be careful here where the ink is because I don't want it to smear. I usually kind of go from the center out. And I gotta be careful where it ripped here too. As you can see, it's kind of sealing the napkin. It's helped fastening it to the paper even more. And it's getting rid of a lot of the crinkles and, oh man, this napkin's really ripping. Ah. Getting rid of the crinkles and such. Most of them. So you do have to be careful with the napkins. They're usually, they're just like tissue paper, so they're very fragile, but they're also very resilient. You can just kind of stick them back together. But as you see here, I've got a few spaces, but this isn't gonna matter because we're gonna put stuff on top. So it really, I'm not too concerned about it. Plus, I kind of like the feel of like ripped napkins and the antiquing of that. So it doesn't bother me at all. But this napkin has been very temperamental. It's a very temperamental napkin. But okay, so once we get this done, we are going to dry this. You have to dry it before we can move on to anything else. So let me get my dryer, my machine, my heater. Okay, I'm gonna start drying this. So if you don't like the sound, I know it's annoying, you can just fast forward. So we gotta make sure this part is almost completely dry before we can go on to the next part. So you want to make sure that there's no dampness. I'm going to flip the page over. When you flip the page over and dry the back, that helps as well. You want to kind of keep flipping it back and forth. You could also dry your ink so that doesn't smear. And you want to be careful with these heating tools. They get very, very hot, so you don't want to leave them in one place for too long. You want to keep them constantly moving. If you're using a hair dryer or something else, those get hot too, but I don't think they get as hot as these heating tools. These heating tools can get extremely hot. Maybe it just depends on what setting you have your hair dryer on. But if you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but I can still read the words through the napkin from the Proverbs over here. The parts that go into the napkin. Not many go all the way through, but I can still read the ones that do. Okay, this is feeling almost completely dry. Move this. I'm going to need this a little bit later, but we'll move it for now. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm just going to cut off the napkin that's overhanging the edge. We're not going to need that. It's still a little damp. Okay, so now get your gold ink, if you have it. If you don't, it's no biggie. If you have any kind of, oh, this is still a little wet, y'all. Let me just dry this one little spot. I got stencil over that spot. And we'll see how it is stenciling over this napkin because it's a little bumpy, so we'll see how it works. Okay, so I'm gonna rub off any ink off my, this is a little damp paper towel. So I'm just gonna rub off whatever, and you can see no ink is coming out here, so pretty clean. So I'm gonna open up this gold. If you have any kind of like gold ink, you can use the Pearl X powder, you could use gold watercolor, though you don't want to get it too watery because you're gonna be going through a stencil. But or you don't have to use any, you can use a different color, you can use yellow or a different color if you want. So what I'm going to do is I want to go over this in like a different pattern over the napkin and the stencil in the back with gold. And this will shimmer and shine because it's got gold, it's like a glitter ink. I'm gonna get this really inked up. We'll see how this works. We'll try it. And there goes my stomach growling again, y'all. My stomach is always growling. I am always hungry. I am literally always hungry. Just ignore it. Just ignore my stomach. Every time I craft, I seem to get hungry. I don't know why. It's like a Pavlov dog kind of reflex or something. I don't know. It's hilarious. Okay, let's see how this is gonna work. I'm just kind of going over this like little swirly part. I'm want to get a little bit more right here. Get it deep gold right here. Let's see what the, okay. Ooh. Actually, I might go in another area. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get it up close a little bit. Can you see the shimmer and shine a little bit? So it's gonna shine, so I mean, it's like just another layer to it. So it's going over the napkin and over the stencil. So I'm gonna do another, I'm gonna do one kind of, let's see, maybe this one kind of coming down this way and a little bit that way, right here. So. When it catches the light, you definitely can see it. Do that little part sticking out right there. And that little swirl right there. I think I want to add in, you won't be able to see it too well, but you'll still be able to see it. Now, if you've got gilding powder or something like that, that'll definitely stand out even more. I do have some, but I just wanted just a kind of like a subtle look. So let's see how this looks. Okay, so if you can see in the light's not too well, you can see it shimmer and shine a little bit there and a little bit down here. So it's just giving it another dimension, another little shimmery dimension, like right there. So you've got the ones in the back. It's like you have feathers, you know, layered up. Okay, so that's it. So you just, that's it for that. Move that to the side. I'm just gonna wipe that off real quick in case I need this later. Okay, so then I have these feathers. Okay, so I have, let me show you a page I had. This is a page I did in my Inspire Bible a while back, about 1.5 years ago or so. This is about, in 1 Kings, it says, so King Solomon became richer and wiser than any other king on earth. And it was the description in 1 Kings chapter 11 where it says he collected peacocks. And so I drew a peacock here, and then at the top I had this little clip that I clipped these peacock feathers, or like, you know, pretty feathers to, and I had some extras of these, so I figured I'd use them. I also blinged up the page with these little jewels, the peacock, and I used my glitter gel pens for some areas, so, you know, he would be shimmery and shiny. So you can do that too. You can draw your own peacock. You could use gel pens, glitter gel pens, which I might add a little bit here. We'll see. But I do have some of these peacock, well, they're not really peacock feathers, you know, they're fake feathers, but, and they're not really the peacock type because the peacocks have the eye at the top, but they're like the same colors. And so I was thinking I was gonna kind of glue them down and add them to this. So let's see how this will work, if it'll work. And where's my scissors? Let me grab my scissors. So let's see here. I was gonna kind of, so let's see, this will be covered up. I was gonna just put an area, just have a couple, and I don't need this big old, there we go. Don't need that big old stem. And I don't need all of that. So I'm just gonna kind of cut this off. I just want the, let's see. Okay, y'all, having an issue. Come on, stay where you need to stay. So I just wanted to have like another little dimension to this page, just a little bit more interest, eye interest. Kind of like that. Okay, So that's how I want it. So now let's see if the glue will hold these. So I've got my 3-in-1 glue that I am waiting until it gets to the end, that I put in these little bottles. And these are the Sugar Bell bottles. I got these from Amazon. They're like for cake and icing. So they're easy to squeeze for those with arthritis or have a hard time squeezing bottles. These bottles are awesome. And I'm just putting a couple dollops of glue just to kind of hold them down where their stems are. And I'm wondering, do we want this furry part right there on top to hide the stems? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one kind of right there. Okay. So, whew, I got feathers flying everywhere, little pieces of feather. We got this little one. Okay, cool. So it gives it just like a little bit more dimension. And then the other thing I was going to do is I had some more of those little jewels or like little blingy things, and then I can put throughout in the little eyes of the feather. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put like a little dollop of glue. Let's get it back down, just to make sure that it'll hold the jewels. So I'll put one like right there, one right there, one in that little white spot to cover that up. Come on. I need to get some more glue. I've been running out of glue. I've been going through so much glue. So these are purplish bluish little gems. So I'm gonna do like a different variety of these, just to kind of bling the page up. Again, y'all know, gotta have some bling. Gotta have some bling. Let's put one right here. Where else? One right here. Let's see. And I've got different sizes as well, but I'm trying to do like a little purple one, a darker one. I might put some littler ones in a few places as well. Let's put some here, one here. This is how come I get glue everywhere on me. One there. Okay. Hey, I need to adjust the camera. It's starting to tilt. There we go, a little bit. Okay, can y'all see? Okay, let's do a couple little ones, and then I might have to stop myself again. Let's put one up here. Let's see. Here's a little one. And let's find purple one. And let's put one right here. So yeah, just get little, if you have any of these kind of little gems, you can put these on, or, you know, use your glitter pens. If you don't have these, you can just use glitter pens and make little circles with, you know, your glitter pens, your gel pens that have glitter in them. It'll give it some sparkle and shine. So anything with like some shine, shimmer and shine. Okay, I think that'll be enough. What do y'all think? Yeah, I should probably stop. Okay, because I can keep going. Okay, so we've got our feathers, we've got our little jewels. So this peacock is strutting his stuff right now. I mean, he's being a little arrogant peacock. Remember, I always have conversations with my pages. So this little peacock is being a little arrogant. So I'm going to highlight this verse. It says, when arrogance comes, disgrace follows, but with humility comes wisdom. So I'm just going to kind of block off this verse because this is the one I am referring to. You could also reference Proverbs 16 verse 18. That's the one, you know, before our destruction comes, you know, before pride, or pride, then comes destruction. Okay, so now I'm gonna get this strut your stuff napkin. So let me move that and grab I'm just gonna take the strut your stuff. So I'm gonna grab some water on my brush and kind of go around the strut your stuff part. Title. And slowly rip the napkin away. Okay, I don't need this part. So I'm gonna tear that off and toss that. Okay. Ooh, I'm just flinging stuff everywhere, y'all. Okay. So we don't need this. We'll save this for another project. Okay, bring this back. Okay. So he is strutting his stuff. Whew, I got feathers flying everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some more of my watered down gesso, and I am going to get my napkin. Let's see, let's put it like right about here. So I'm gonna put the gesso where I need it to be. Another piece of feather in my gesso. And then I'm just gonna go over the top. And I'm running out of gesso, so let me grab a little bit. Just need a little bit. You could do this with watered down glue. You could do this with Mod Podge. You can do it with any kind of sticky something. But I always have my gesso out, so I just use that. And it doesn't, I found it's not sticky. It doesn't become sticky. I'm gonna try to tear that piece off right there. It doesn't become sticky when you close your pages. So a lot of people have said that Mod Podge does stick every once in a while. So I have not used it. I've never used Mod Podge in my Bible, so I couldn't, you know, speak to that. I don't know if that is true or not, or for me, it, you know. So I just use gesso, and it never sticks. So never had a problem with it. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse my brush off. Anytime you're using gesso, you definitely want to rinse your brush off in the water kind of right away, because the gesso will dry in your brush and make your brush like super stiff. So I always just rinse it to get that off. At least, you know, till I can bring it to a sink and really wash it out. And I'll just wash it with soap and water. Okay, so now I'm gonna dry that. Now it might look like You know, we're saying to strut your stuff, but no, we're gonna change this up a little bit. Try the other side. Oh, I love it. Look at, if you can see the gold in the napkin, it's really shimmery. I love that. Almost dry. So if you can see that the gold in the napkin, and then the gold in the ink is faint, but it's there. You can see it in, depending how it's, you know, turned in the light. And then of course you got the little shimmery from the little jewels, and you got the little poofiness from the feathers. I love it. Okay, so it says strut your stuff, but we're talking about when arrogance comes, disgrace follows. So we don't want to strut our stuff. I mean, you know, I'm making this more comedic, more of a comedy thing. So I have these, they're kind of like raised, I don't know if you can see that. They're like little 3D stickers. So they're little raised like foam stickers. They're kind of like foam. So I'm just gonna put don't strut your stuff. So I'm gonna pull these off and I'm gonna do don't across like this top part here. Actually, I'm gonna go a little bit higher because I don't want to cover that S too much. So we're gonna be like, don't strut your stuff. I mean, there's a time and a place of strutting your stuff, y'all, right? There's a time and a place. But we're talking about like this little peacock being so high and mighty and arrogant, and that's what we mean by don't strut your stuff. Don't be so arrogant. These letters just want to do their own little thing. Trying to get it so it's kind of in a line. Don't have this little teeny tiny apostrophe. And where's my T's? So it's kind of like a play on this, you know, having fun with it, and it's a good reminder. Just, you know, don't be so arrogant and prideful. Ooh, careful. Don't strut your stuff. Okay. Okay, and then the last thing, or one of the last things I got this big stencil, and it has this little peacock feather right there. And I was gonna kind of have it come around here, around the title. And so I was going to stencil that. So, oh, yep, I did lie. I need the ink again. And so I'm gonna do, yeah, we need some green and blue up here. We don't have any. So we got the gold right there, so we don't need any more of that. So I'm gonna grab some more of this green and blue ink. And I'm just gonna position this so it's kind of going around. Ooh, look at that. Make sure I hold that there. Ooh, it's gonna shift. It's okay. And then I'm gonna grab this color, the greenish blue. Let's see if I can put this right back where it was. See if I put this there, if that'll hold it from shifting. I'm actually gonna grab some of this green and maybe put some of this green on here too to kind of give it a little bit different dimension. Or you know what? I could grab, if I have, let me do the green, see if that'll work. And then otherwise I might grab a little bit of purple because I want it to get a little bit darker at the bottom. So I got some green here at the top. Yeah. I'm gonna grab a little bit of purplish shade. So it's like more of a, kind of like this purplish here. Y'all know I gotta have some purple in my, gotta have some purple. Okay, so look at that purple. Let's see how dark that is. Okay, yeah. That mixed with the blue here at the bottom. Oh yeah, that's gonna give it. Okay, cool. It shifted a little, but awesome. I got some ink up there too. Oh. But there we go. Okay. Close that up, put this to the side. So here is our page. So don't strut your stuff. It's all about, you know, being careful of the pride. And so here's the page, y'all. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had fun doing it. This is called like a multimedia page, I guess, because you're using different forms where we use some decoupage, some stamping, stickers, feathers, jewels. You can do, you can add a topper up here if you'd like. If you had like an actual peacock feather or something coming out here, that would be so cool. I wish I had one. Like I'd have it coming like right out here. Oh, that would be so cool. I don't have them, but maybe one day if I get one, I'll put one in. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Have a very blessed day and enjoy creating and spending time in the Word. Bye, y'all.